All right. Well, today with the Undrafted Hockey Fan Podcast, we are here with Mike Oliverio, head scout of the Flint Firebirds. How you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm doing well, man. It's cool. I'm glad I can see practice and everything, and all the guys, and so
Is
it's
this your first practice?
my first practice. Yeah, so it's very cool. I mean, clearly being I'm in the Michigan area, so you guys have a ton of junior hockey here. It's just, I mean, the Flint Firebirds. I mean, I've always thought highly of them as well. Of course, being a Red Wings fan, you guys drafted Lombardi or got Lombardi.
Lombardi, yep.
Everyone's like, "Oh, is it his brother?" It's like it's not his brother. No, you guys have on the team right now.
No,
So he's doing phenomenally as well. Drafted by the LA Kings as well.
Signed by the LA Kings, yes.
Well, you've been here since the start of the Flint Firebirds program.
Personally, I've been here. I was with the Plymouth Oilers,
you were
so I was 97 was when I started, and then I took a 4-year hiatus and kind of went with the Sioux, with the Greyhounds, my alma mater, because I played there for 5 years.
Yeah. Assistant coach, right?
Assistant coach.
And development coach.
Yeah,
so.
as well, yeah. And then lo and behold, come back almost 10 years ago today.
That's awesome. I imagine it's a nice year. It's still in the Michigan, well, you're still Canada, but it's Michigan's basically Canada as well.
Absolutely. This is, I've been up and down I-75 probably more than I could shake a stick at. It's like home, come down to this area, Flint, Saginaw, the Plymouth area, it's like old hat.
And Tony's on the way down.
Tony's, yeah. On the club sandwich.
No free sponsorships.
No free sponsorship. No. Nothing's free.
No, absolutely
Nothing's
not. I'm glad you were free to do this and everything. So
I appreciate it.
No, so now one of these I was talking to with your general manager, and he so graciously hooked us up and everything. One of the things I was asking him about is just being head scout. You guys are going. I know most of your players right now are Canadian. Like I said, I think I read there's 19 of them. You have from the U.S., you have Slovenia, and I think the Czech, and then one came from
Latvia.
That's Urban is the Latvian, right? No. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I messed that one up.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, I think you guys have like and you guys have fun everywhere.
Yes.
Is there spots that you? I mean, are there spots that you like see you want to like target? Are you guys check teams or Canadian teams? I know you affiliated with the Leamington Flyers.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, and we're also kind of affiliated with Markham Waxers in the U18 league in the Greater Toronto area. As to your question, no, it's you just try to take the best players that are available. Unfortunately, this organization, we were kind of set back the first few years, and trying to convince some of the American kids to come, it was hard. And at some point, you have to get players here. So we had to go with the steadies and the people that were 100% coming. So that's kind of how we've got to where we are today. And now all of a sudden with some success, and the rule changes and everything that's going on, it's kind of opened the doors to everybody. Now Flint has become, a destination that people want to come to. Yeah. So did it happen overnight? No, it didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of work, and basically our GM and our coaching staff have done a wonderful job. I mean, bringing in the right people and year after year made changes. Maybe you didn't want to, but you had to get better.
Yeah. It's a short campaign for the long term.
That's right. And you bring somebody in thinking that they're the answer, and you find out working with them that they're not.
Yeah.
It's time to move on.
This is a culture, right?
Exactly.
It is. I mean, hockey is such a culture.
Yes.
Team sport, right? Like you one guy can throw up a whole locker room. We see that. We hear
absolutely. You talk about cancer in the dressing room and that kind of thing. We've gotten to the point where we're really excited to where we are today. We're happy. Not happy, I guess, is the wrong word. It's more, we can't believe we got to where we are so fast, to be honest. And I know it took time, but it's like, okay, now we've got the right people in place. We've got the right coaching staff. The kids see that firsthand, and they, you can't fool kids.
No.
If you care about them, they know.
Yeah.
And I don't know by you watching practice today, there's 6 coaches out there, and we're all working with kids individually. Of course, Paul is working the team. Right.
Yeah.
So
even so, I saw Paul even working with Alex Costa.
Yeah,
bro.
trying to
It's
get
like,
him back in the game
you
shape.
need next level. Like,
Absolutely.
that's huge. Like, it's just seeing
Yes.
that one-on-one, just
Yeah.
knowing that, like, we're all part of this, all pulling forward as a team and everything. And like, someone needs a little extra love instead of,
Yeah.
I saw you working with face-offs over here.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I was called in to work on faceoffs. So
I was
that's
gonna
my
say,
forte. Yeah. Yeah. When I played, yeah.
Yeah, you were in 1985 draft.
Oof.
I mean, Quebec Nordiques.
Quebec Nordiques, yeah, the Avalanche. But yeah, I mean, handful of kids, they appreciate it, and if they're happy, you hope that they give you more, right?
Yeah.
Because you're always asking for more from them.
Well, absolutely. Well, and the thing is, you got to realize sometimes you're working with kids. I don't want to call them kids. They are players,
Yeah.
right? They are, but some are as young as you just go 16. I think I saw 17.
Yeah, 16.
All up to 21-year-olds. So like they're players. This is this is right next to professional, right?
Absolutely. This is the next step.
I don't want to call it amateur because it feels like it's a downplay, but it's like I said, it's right there. These kids are touching. I mean, a lot of these guys are going to play like maybe in Europe or in the NHL or AHL. Like these are ECHL. There's going to be a ton of opportunities.
Absolutely.
So you guys made a couple big trades. Before we go to the big trades, like Battaglia, of course, Kevin. Something I noticed, and I was watching you practice it. I really liked Brady Smith. I saw you guys traded for him back in October.
Mm-hmm.
This kid seems nails. It seems like a great kid. And then as we were coming to do this interview, you were working with him. You were talking with him. Yeah. Great kid.
No, yeah, very personable, very chatty. I didn't realize he was that chatty. Yeah, he was telling me stories, and I was just listening. Telling me about his parents, telling me about the difference of travel from when he played in the suit to where he is today. Yeah, I guess you spend some time with them, you learn what they're all about.
Well, that's it, right? Again, because these kids are away from home, right? I mean, a lot of these kids
absolutely, yeah.
And you have to I don't say again, like you're talking about, you want to have a place that's desirable to come to.
Mm-hmm.
So some places, you're trying to get a kid out of BC or something like that. You're going to come all the way across North America, the other side of the country.
Yeah.
And you're so far with
that's
your family.
tough.
And hopefully, I'm sure your billet families are great as well.
Yeah.
But hopefully they click well with the billet family, and hopefully the team connections. And so there's so many variables. It's just, and again, you're 17, 16, coming across the country.
Life is happening.
That's it, right? Which is such a unique thing for hockey experience too. Like, is that because you're living with someone else, right? Like, in football, you go to college, basketball, it's pretty much jumping in the NBA, right? Even in Europe, though, they can stay in their home countries. If you're from Sweden, you can get drafted, you can stay in Sweden. This is like such a different beast.
It's a different dynamic for sure. Like, and you talk about the college and stuff like that. Those guys are usually 20 to 24 years old. They're men. They could live on their own type of thing.
Yeah.
Where you just touched on 16-year-olds, they're still kids. I mean, you don't want to call them kids, but they're still kids.
They're big, 6'3",
they're just big. Yeah, exactly. But mentally, they're still young kids.
Absolutely. When you see the 5'4" man yelling, "Hey,
so, exactly. Yeah, you start to wonder, oh, geez, would you yell at your kid that? 16-year-old, the way you are when you paid and watched.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I used to be a teacher, so.
So you understand.
I was working with kids, and I was like, man, like they're incredibly frustrated. But again, like the goal is, I told them, it's like, you're gonna come out of this class a better person. Right. That is the goal.
Yeah.
Like, would you learn stuff? Yes. Would you like them to be a better player? Absolutely.
Yeah.
The goal is you to be a good person and move on, and then. Again, you might have other teams that want to work with you, right?
Be successful in society. I mean, and you touched on it perfectly. Like, hockey, we're here for hockey.
Yeah.
We're here to push these kids on to the next level. That's our goal. Ultimately, we want them to leave here being good people and better people. And better in life, set you up for success.
Well, again, because a lot of this, I mean, the reality is, like I said, there's so many leagues. I'm like, I was playing with my wife too. She's like, how many leagues are there? I'm like, it's infinite, right? But it bottlenecks, and it goes up to be, NHL being pinnacle and everything. But like a lot of these kids, like you want them to be healthy. Hey, take care of your body, right? Eat well, because it's going to take you that much further. Plus, like when you're 35, 40, you have these injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I know I got a couple of bangs up here, and I'm like, you got to take care of this stuff because it does hit you long.
It does. I mean, I'm still paying now for what happened, like you said, 1985.
Yeah.
And geez, did I hurt my shoulder?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, I guess I did.
I have your elbow tweak or whatever.
Yeah, you don't notice it until you
get older.
Really notice it.
That's right.
I know. I was like, I have back issues. I'm like, does it get better? He's like, no. So I got to do like core strength and everything to try to stay on top of that.
That's right.
So and then so with so right now you guys have some big trades.
Yeah.
Battaglia, of course, Jacob Battaglia. That was a big tree. You guys sent out a decent amount of picks going out and everything. What was when I assume that was one of yours because you're head scout and everything that you saw? What did you see in Jacob that you like? Clearly, captain of the Frontenacs.
Well, basically, the one thing with our organization is we all have a hand in it.
Mm.
Ultimately, our GM pulls the trigger,
Mm.
but I know he's asking for my opinion. He's asking for the coach's opinion to watch video. What do they think? Because I mean, even as a player, I knew, okay, you have different perspectives. A coach may have a different perspective than a scout. A scout may have a different perspective than a GM. Whatever. We bring this to the table, set all the information out there for the GM to decide, and okay, this player fits what we're trying to do. Kevin He fits what we're trying to do. Jacob fits what we're trying to do. They look like they're we players. They're not me players.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you could see, anybody that watches, they're here for the Flint Firebirds.
Absolutely.
They're playing for the crest on the front and not the name on the back is a cliche, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And it's a big part. It's like, do you fit in, right? Because we don't want to disrupt what we've created.
Yeah.
And we've got that culture like you were talking about where, people are happy to be here. People are glad to come to the rink every day.
They're having a good time, man.
Exactly.
Watch it.
They're going to work hard.
Yeah.
And they're going to work harder if they're having a good time. And if they're going against their buddy who's competing just as hard, you're only going to get better in practice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's a snowball.
Well, right? and I know his coach, the head coach, he got out on a little bit on effort. And there was twice I saw that during the practice effort. And the thing is you can command that type of, you can say this type of thing, command, hey, you guys aren't working hard enough.
Yeah.
If you create an environment where they know they trust you and they, they know that you have their best interest in heart, and like you build the culture of like, hey, he's not yelling at me to bring me down. He's yelling at me to.
Exactly. I mean, it's a totally different dynamic now today, coaching players back in, I don't want to say the day that I played, but I mean, coaches were intimidating. I played for Terry Cresp, who was a Broad Street bully.
Yeah.
So when he was yelling at you, and the first thing he said was, if I'm not yelling at you, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
So, I mean, we accepted it, right? We took that verbal abuse, but never thought about it. It was like, this guy wants me to be better.
Yeah.
And I want to be better for the team. And that's kind of, without the verbal abuse in today's game,
there's certain lines.
There's certain lines now, exactly. But you still, hey, you got to pull up your socks here because so and so is relying on you. Your left winger is relying on you. Don't let them down. Don't let the defense. Don't let the goalie down. So, wow. And that's another good point that you bring up. We've never been in this position where we've been so deep that you're a first line left winger. That second line left winger can take your job any given night. And the third line winger could step up to the second and the fourth, and even our fifth guys, even our fifth line, like they're in and out and they're battling for jobs and they're battling for ice time. And that creates that culture of competitiveness.
Well, that's what you want.
Nothing's a given.
Yeah. Well, I would say I'd rather be the worst player on the best team than the best player on the worst team.
Exactly.
If I'm the worst player, I can only go up.
That's right.
I need someone that's going to help push me and strive for it.
Yeah.
So
as long as you're not, like a beaten dog. And the coaching staff, like you said, as a teacher, you work with kids to try to pull the best out of them. Same thing with hockey. You know what? You might be the fourth line centerman tonight. Because you had a bad night the night before. That doesn't mean you're a fourth line center. That just means tonight you are. Or you're on the bench and you might get shorted in the third period a little bit. Well, why? Well, tonight wasn't your night. Tonight was Kevin He's night. Tonight was so and so's night. So they're going to get that extra ice. But you learn to kind of not expect it, but you respect that reward. Okay, I'm getting this because, or I'm not getting it because I've done something.
It's meritocracy, as it should be, right? It's sports.
Sure.
I mean, it's no different than you having to earn your spot as a head scout, right? You started at a certain spot. You went through the process. You were originally a scout, and then you moved up to head scout and everything. So, like, it's like anything. You have to put your work in.
Exactly.
And show that you want.
Timing is everything, too. Yeah, especially in this game. One night you're on top of the world, and the next night you could be out the door.
Yeah.
You never know. For me, it was just a matter of retiring from my daytime job and being able to do this full time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So are you doing a lot of scouting? I mean, you're trying to find the best players. I understand that. So is there a spot that you guys like to? Is there a team that you like to work with, or that it's like that hits the Flint Firebirds style?
That's an excellent point. Look at our last picks for the last couple of years. We had Jimmy Lombardi,
Yeah.
Don Mills, Charlie Murata, Don Mills. And I'm not going to lie, they play the type of game that we want to play. So when you're drafting a kid like Charlie or you're drafting a kid like Jimmy, they're already playing the style you want to play. That transition seems to be a little bit easier for these guys.
Yeah.
Right. As you know, Jimmy's been unbelievable and Charlie's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, but you know, on this flip side, you take that into consideration, but that's not the end all.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just drafting down those kids. You're taking the best players that you can, best players that are available. Going back to our situation now, we're finally in a position where we're not filling holes. We can pick the best player available.
Yeah.
Right. And we're not picking this kid because he's 100% coming. You know, now the playing field's kind of leveled off.
Yeah.
And in the league, it shows this year because the caliber and the gap between the London Knights and you know, everybody else has tightened up because now everybody else is getting these guys.
I saw you got some guys from the USHL. I mean, like you guys are getting the Gojo, you know, like and there's like a ton of like different leagues.
Absolutely. But there are draft picks that we had, like, you know, aside from Komodowski and Bleak, I mean, Anderson was a draft pick.
Yep.
So we had drafted him a few years back. He didn't want to come for whatever reasons. He was going to school. That rule falls.
Yep.
Now he's here and he's succeeding.
That's awesome.
He's awesome for sure.
And like I said, that's the nice thing that you're, because it's unique with your guys' draft list. Yeah, they might not come here, which is interesting. That is probably the hard thing. So when you're looking at drafting a kid, I mean, how depth are you going? 'Cause, I mean, they talk about sometimes they go to their, you know, their brother, sisters, husband.
Yeah.
To go
No.
deep.
No. We live by the rule of all these kids are coached.
Yeah.
You call a kid on the telephone to do an interview, he's been coached on what to say.
Yeah, media trainer, right?
Exactly. They're, you know, unfortunately, it's down to probably peewee age now. But so we kind of stick away from that. We do our homework, otherwise quietly, you know, backdoor, talk to the agents that we trust. There's some that you can't trust because they're going to tell you what you want to hear or what you don't want to, you know. So you build those relationships, and you know, I more so at my level and the GM's level. You know, we deal with them all the time, and the agencies and the agents. You learn who to listen to and who not to, and some will tell you he's not coming. All of a sudden, lo and behold, the kid shows up in training camp. Is it the kid or is it the agent that doesn't, you know, there's something going on here? So, you know, you talk to parents after the draft, and if they're all excited, you know you've got something, right? If they start to be standoffish, okay, well, you know, maybe the agent was right on this one. That type of thing. So every individual is different. Every situation is different, but you just kind of weigh the odds and you kind of weigh everything. And again, you put that information out on the table for the GM, and it's a group decision, and we all kind of make that, you know, that point or to give them that help or push them over the edge. So.
Well, I noticed, like, I mean, yours is the arena's great too, right?
Yeah, the facility's second on that.
That's one of the things I know they talk about as like the selling point for some places. Like some places, in which again, there's not point out any other but this is like a nice facility. Again, I mean, not that I'm sitting out with you, but it is like even watching it, like I said, it's a cool spot. Like I think Flint's underrated. I think even as a team and as a city, and so I think this spot, and I think that's one of the things that's interesting is that you're convincing kids. I think I don't know if that's just as an app. How are you convincing kids from Canada to come to the U.S.? I mean, even now, like again, not to get into politics.
No,
but is there an issue there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right. There absolutely is issues there. I mean, you know, people, they believe what they hear, right? Until they come here and they see it. You know, like you said, they come to see the facility first class. They come to see the organization and you know, the administration first class, the coaching staff first class. Okay, what's your schedule like? Oh, geez, you know, the onus are a lot of schooling, a lot of off ice conditioning, everything to make that person a better player and a better person. Right? It's not just about the hockey. So once they see the whole package, will politics be in the way? Of course, it's always going to be in the way, but we can't. It's something that we don't dwell upon. It's everybody's opinion. That's everybody's choice.
You got to pick the best player that you can. And that's all you can do, right?
That's all you can do. That's right. And if they come, great. If they don't, well, you know, there's rules in place now that you can do things and maybe, you know, take that asset and use it as something else in a trade or whatever, right? So again, we find ourselves in that position where we're comfortable. We know that whoever we take is going to be a player somewhere.
Yeah.
May not be here in Flint, but we can always use that as an asset to get somebody that will be in Flint.
Yeah.
Whether it's a Kevin He down the road or a Battaglia down the road, everybody's an asset. If you start drafting assets, it's as good as money, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So you can use it anywhere. You can spend it anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, go back in the last 4 or 5 years, a lot of the draft picks that we had may not have played here, but they're playing in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? Because they were capable of playing in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's, you know, tip your hat to the staff, the scouts, you know, that do their job every night. You know, we're in 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night in an arena that's not as nice as this.
Yeah.
And they're watching and they're ranking players.
Well, you see it, right?
That's right.
Like they see the spark of the kid, and that's why you pick them. That's why they're noted. That's why they stand out and everything.
Yeah, not to jump ahead. I'm not sure if that's one of the questions you're going to
Go
ask.
ahead.
Yeah, you know, character's huge. What you see on the ice, you know, you just talked about Smith there. He looks like, you know, he's a good character. He's a good kid. Right?
Yeah.
He's a good character person. For me, it's compete, character, and IQ. Right? If you can compete, you can play anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a good character, you can be a good teammate, which is huge.
Yep.
It's that we mentality, not me. IQ for me is if you understand the game and can enact instead of react.
Yeah.
If you're dictating the play, to me that's huge.
Yeah.
And the Jimmy Lombardis and those guys, they epitomize that IQ part, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, I think some people pick players based on just skill or just size. Like, oh, this is a right-handed defenseman, 6'6", and it's like, okay, yeah, but there's other attributes that go with this. Right?
Absolutely,
Like you rather have the 5'10" speedy winger that has a high IQ, is a good teammate, than someone who's going to cause chaos in the locker room.
Yeah.
Right? You know?
Well, I mean, look at our defense. I mean, even in the one draft year, we took Dryden Allen, you know, 6'1" guy.
Yeah.
Graziano is a smaller guy, and Fellinger.
Yeah.
3 different defensemen, you know, but they're all here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They all have a place. So it's not a matter of being 6'6", or if you can play, you can play.
Yeah.
If you're I mean, I was a small guy and I thought I could play, and I ended up playing a lot of games. Yeah.
I mean, look like a Lane Hudson, the Canadian.
Absolutely.
A small guy. He just hit the most assists by a defenseman and the first 100.
Cole Caulfield.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? If you can play, you can play. That's right. I'm going there tomorrow.
Yeah. Get it.
Yeah. All came through this.
Well, she's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
sounds like my wife. She's not a big fan of hockey. I don't know why she married me.
I'm a musician. I love hockey.
Yeah.
We ended up going dating Undrafted with the Griffins out there. So.
Don't tell my wife because she loves Grand Rapids.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. We always at least 1 or 2 weekends a year we spend down there. So
we got engaged them Granny too.
Oh yeah.
So again, it's Grand Rapids, Grand Valley State where we met, and so it's been a wild ride. So yeah, like huge fan of that. We're getting into depth. So I want to kind of talk about, again, you have been here for so long, and there's some notable players that have been drafted and been NHL players, right? Nedeljkovi, Lombardi, Brennan Othmann, like Dellandrea. Yeah. So I mean, so you're seeing some of these guys that are a couple of first-round picks there, and that's I'm going to toot your horn. That's a credit to your team, your staff, and everything. And
absolutely, and no one guy can take credit for any of our drafts. To be honest, I mean, it's such a group thing, and it took years again for our GM to assemble it and get it to where he wants and get it to where he trusts everybody, right? And everybody has an opinion. And that's what you want. He may not have the same opinion as you, but if he backs it up with a reason or an answer, it may open your eyes to something. Hey, I didn't see that, or geez, you know, I did notice that, but this is why, you know, whatever. It just, the conversation starts about certain players or every player that you take. So it's just such a group effort, and
you don't want a yes man either, too, right? You don't want someone.
You don't want a yes man.
You want someone to push back on you.
Absolutely. Like, you want your hockey knowledge and your opinion to come out.
Yeah.
Right? It has to come out. That's the reason you're here.
Yeah.
And I always say to our guys, or even when I was just a scout, an area scout, I get I'm here for my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not here to make a decision.
Yeah.
Right. So if all these opinions come forward,
Yeah.
and again, that information is out there for the GM, the coaching staff, and or myself, the three of us will get together. Then we make the decision, hopefully with that knowledge behind us.
Yeah.
Right. Or in the back of our head. Okay. Yeah, we know this. Don't worry. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the guy we want, or this is the guy that we think that's more than this guy.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Is there a guy that you banged the table, yelled at every other scout, said, we gotta take this guy? Is there a guy that you just like and with prove yourself right? There's a guy that you were like, man, I know it in my heart of hearts, and like clearly I know you don't make the decision, right? But like so then is there a guy that you're like, man, like we had this 4th round pick, you have to, or like we gotta trade for this guy? Is there anyone that you in particular you can think?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't want.
Or any favorites?
There's been a few guys where I really think this guy can play. Maybe we've missed out on him, or he just ends up getting drafted just before you're about to take him, right?
Yeah.
The most recent one that I can think of would be probably Fellinger. Probably would never been drafted. We took him in the 13th round. Myself and another GTHL scout, Tommy Watson Sr., who's been around probably longer than all of us put together. He's like, Mike, I like this kid. And I'm like, yeah, Tommy, I do too. And I'm keeping this one in my back pocket. On draft day, when I said, guys, I'm going on a limb here, I'm going to take it. And he's from the Sioux, so he's a local boy.
Right? Yeah.
So I got to watch him a little bit. And so we stepped up, we took him, and God, he's been phenomenal for us.
Yeah.
So you like to hear those stories. You like to see those stories, right? Not everybody's a first round.
No. Those are the favorites.
That's right. That's right. That's
yeah.
right. You get guys, it doesn't matter where you drafted. Once you come to camp, you have just as good a shot as anybody else.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, again, and to you guys with Lombardi, like, who's a 4th round pick? Red Wings fans and being one, are so stoked on it. I mean, you get 100 points with you guys, and he got at the AHL level. Now he's about a point a game. Suffering a little bit of injury, but again, that's a guy that's like, hey, like the deeper drafts, like that's that's the ones you really want to hit on. He had a guy in the 13th round, like how many different teams passed over this guy?
That's right.
And missed all this, right?
That's right.
You found him, right?
Yeah.
And going back to Cole Caulfield, Lane Hudson, 2nd round pick.
Yeah. Not a first round. That's right. Not a first rounder.
Exactly.
Everybody would change their pick now. But,
exactly.
But even Amadeus, I think was a 12th or 13th round pick as well to us. Yeah. Right. Because at the time he might have been 5'8". Might have been. Right. Even maybe 5'7".
Yeah. On his skates.
On his skates. Yeah. All of a sudden he grows and things happen, right? Things fall into place because he had the mind, right? He had the IQ, and obviously if you watch him now, he knows the game.
Yeah.
And then he added the skill, then he added the skating, then he added, all that started to come as he got bigger and stronger. So yeah, I mean, that's the fun part, right? Absolutely. Picking these guys that nobody really thinks about, or nobody gives them time of day. That's when that's. I mean, back in the Plymouth days, but I think most of our team was made up of like the 7th to the 11th round. Like we were hitting some home runs, and that's where you start to you build your program. Yeah. Right. The 1st and 2nd rounders and 3rd rounders, they're going to play. Yeah. But now you start adding the 7th and 8th and 9th. Now you're getting 5 or 6 players per draft year. It's kind of like that college cycle, right? As your 20-year-olds are going, your 17-year-olds are coming in, from the draft before, because only 1 or 2 may play. Yeah. Like Charlie Muratas, he's going to stay. He's the only 16-year-old base and Corville, right? So, that's how you start building your program. And as 5 or 6 graduate, you're sliding 5 or 6 in easily. Yeah. Because they're capable. Like, going back to last year's draft, we have Lapalainen that's playing in Leamington. We have Beauchesne that's playing, out in Ottawa, and I think Renfrew. You start adding these guys that have played a game or 2 already, so we know what they're going to bring to the table next year, and we're excited. We're excited for these guys coming in. Absolutely. So it just hopefully just keep the ball rolling. Yeah.
Well, so I'm curious on the process. So again, I'm with the juniors, but like Brian, time more too. You guys sending back to their even lower leagues, but I think about with the Red Wings signing guys, sending the grant. Maybe they go back to juniors, but like there's not other teams they're affiliated with. So you're not stacking Leamington.
No.
right?
No. So the rule is you're only allowed 2 16-year-olds on Leamington.
Okay.
So they were, they took one of ours, but they took one of somebody else. So those are the only two. We try not to dictate to families where we want their kids to play.
Okay.
We don't think that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, they're only 16 years old. Like you said, do you want them 9 hours away from home when they can play in their backyard, maybe somewhere?
Yeah.
We'll give our opinions or our knowledge of certain leagues, of certain teams, where to stay away from. Yeah. So, I mean, and depending on where you're drafted, depending on where you are in your progress, maybe it is better to go back to U18. If it's not for you, maybe we'll try to find you a spot if you ask us, or maybe your agent finds you a spot to play in Tier 2 or Junior B or wherever.
Well, there's also be like you might know of a culture that maybe doesn't fit how you want your kid to develop, right?
That's right.
Or maybe your kid, again, they're at that young age, they're children, kids,
kids.
they're kids, but at 16, I know I was impressionable. Like,
absolutely.
Way more than I am now.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
You want to create the best environment for these kids and grow. As is the young age, they're going to be looking up to older players.
That's right.
And you want them to again thrive
and who's really a leader at 16?
Yeah,
there's not too many, lots of followers. So you want to put them in a situation again, where they're comfortable, but they're protected and that and their parents, they're happy. That's the ultimate goal, right? As a parent of a 16-year-old, I'm concerned about him, and I want to be happy too. I want to see certain things in place and certain levels of things in place.
Yeah.
So it's tough to keep everybody happy.
Yeah, I have a 13-week-old, so I just did the math, and he's a 20, 40, 48 draft, 44 draft. Yeah, I'm like, we got to. So I already got him those Flint Firebirds mini stick. I'll show you the picture of it. So, do you find that it's a benefit? I don't know how much time you have, but like, is it? I don't know how big of a benefit is it that you're so close to USMCPP and that so many scouts are coming in and checking out those programs or that program? Are they then? Hey, we're here. Let's go hit up Flint. And come and check out your guys' games and everything.
Well, we hope so.
Yeah,
right.
We call you and say, hey, like we're gonna stop by.
No, I'm sure like there's certain things that happen. Like maybe the agent will say, hey, my client's coming up. Can you set aside a couple of tickets? Absolutely. We want to show you our program too, what we have to offer, right? Yeah. So it's just a matter of getting people in the door to sell. Right. If you can get them in, show them around, show them what you got. Tell them what you're about, right? Sometimes that goes a long, long way. So and being close, being downstate, if we can get a lot of these, the Michigan kids, the local kids, which obviously we're trying to do. It's just, now they're more accepting. Right.
Well, you're the first in the division, so that doesn't hurt either, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, did I say that a lot?
Games to play here.
You guys you're high caliber team, right? You guys are perform well. You guys have big competition. You guys are making moves or making big trades to bring in that talent and everything. I mean, you guys are. I mean, there's difference between teams that are selling and buying. You are a buyer.
Yeah.
I mean, so you guys are trying to move. You guys are trying to make those impact moves that are going to help you forward. Again, Kevin's looking great, Battaglia as well. And so yeah. So again, your scouts, when you're picking your scouting team, and you're looking, how do you identify that they're going to pick kids of character and because identify high IQ is it may be he might be the fourth guy to touch the puck. The play started because he set everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we don't puck watch. You can't puck watch because the game is 90% without the puck.
Absolutely.
Right. So it's easy to watch the guy with the puck. It's learning or visualizing and noticing what these guys without the puck, what they're thinking. Am I going to open ice? Am I going to the right lanes? Am I picking up the right guy? If they're just out there for a skate, well, obviously he's not a hockey. He's not a hockey player. He's just playing hockey for the fun of it.
Exactly. I like that. He's playing hockey, not a hockey.
That's what I say about my two boys. They played hockey for fun. They weren't hockey players.
That's it.
I was a hockey player and it was in my blood, and I went as far as I could and that type of thing. But they didn't. And that's fine, right? Yeah. And then a lot of these kids that are here today, some enjoy it to the point where maybe at 18 I don't enjoy it the way I did. because now it's become more of a business, right? And that's sad to see, but that's the reality, right? I got to earn my ice time now, and some kids don't like that, right?
Yeah. Well, and the goal is you're finding kids that have that high compete. They want to go to the next level. That it is, yes, it's a business, but like I love this game so much.
That's right.
That's the ideal, right?
That's right. That's the character part. That's I'm going to give it all until I can't give it anymore. Right? Yeah. Now going back to your question about the staff, again, it took years. It took years of working with certain guys, and our GM working with certain guys that I didn't work with, and bringing us all together, and all of a sudden we click. It's just such a tight-knit group. And I'm sure if you ask the other 19 teams in the league, and if they say, what scouting staff do you think is the tightest? It'd be Flint. Honestly, it'd be Flint. When we're in a rank, it's almost like jealousy. People we're tight, and we're out for suppers together, and where other teams kind of go in their own different ways, right? So it's just, for us, it's a lot of fun. So again, if you're having fun, you're going to do more. You're going to give it more. You're going to, work harder, whatever you want to call it.
You're leading by example too, right? Well, your kids, you want them to have the
absolutely.
You want them texting, not too late, but you want.
That's right. You want a tight knit group, and right from the GM down, it's a tight knit group, and everybody he's added, whether through the scouting staff, whether through the coaching staff, whether through the training staff, it's just become such a and I can't explain it. It's just it's a family. And I know that, again, that's a cliche, but everybody looks out for each other, and that's what you want. And nobody's backstabbing anybody. Everybody's here for the right reasons. Yeah. So it just makes it a great place to be.
Absolutely. Well, it's huge. I mean, again, I was talking to Mason Vicari, and so I was talking to him, and like he's so chipper, so nice.
Yeah.
I was asking about his tape job. He only tapes half the stick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing, man? He's like, all I do is snapshots. I don't need the back. And,
right.
So I was like, oh, that makes sense. So he was very kind. Your equipment staff was very kind and very well. Being that I'm a guy, I'm a no-name guy. And you're like, what's this guy doing here, right? And so again, your staff has been great and everything.
Perfect. That's what we like to hear.
So I got one last thing, and then we can wrap it up. So you're out somewhere, you're scouting kid, right? So I'm gonna build a scenario for you.
Yep.
I'm 5'10", right-handed winger, and you're trying to get me. You want me to come play?
Yeah.
Right. Is there an elevator pitch? What do you got? How do you talk to the kid, and how do you say, hey man, we would love you?
Yeah. So again, the conversation starts with the agents, and again, we've built our reputation now where agents are calling us like, hey, my client's interested, or we're not turning Flint down. My clients aren't turning Flint down this year or whatever. We just say, this is what we have to offer. This is what we're going to do with your player. This is, or your son, or, again, we don't talk to the player himself, because talking to a 16-year-old, he's only going to hear what he wants to hear.
Yeah.
So it's more of a, mom and dad are there, the agents there. Now as a group, you're telling the 4 or 5 of them, this is what we have to offer. This is what we're looking for of your son. This is where we think your son could be.
Yeah.
And this is how we're going to get him there. And you just lay out your program, and some may like it and some may not, but we're not changing for somebody.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we've done in the past, where we had to get that person here.
Yeah.
We started to change, the way we operate, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So we, again, where we are now is, this is what we do. Yeah. This is who we are, and we're happy, with what we have to offer.
Knowing and establishing expectations of the player, right? Hey, like if you think I'm coming and play right wing, top line, it's like, buddy, right? Like we got that expectation. You might get there.
Yeah.
Like that is
no. We want you to be there.
We want you to be there.
Yes.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
We want to have,
and we're going to do everything we can to get you there.
Yeah. 2 top line right wingers, and we want you guys to be fighting for those spots.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And then he's just setting that expectation and being. I'm not friend with the player too, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey,
absolutely. You can't lie to people. I mean, it's everybody knows, right? Yes. And like you said, I mean, whether it's the coaching staff, the GM, or the scouting staff that's talking to a parent, everybody has the same story.
Yeah.
Everybody has the same. So there's nobody saying something. Wait a minute, he told me that. No, we're all saying the same thing, right? We're consistent.
Yeah.
So, and at the same time, if I get out of line, I know whether it's the most junior person on our scouting staff, he might say, hey, they call me Ollie. So, hey, Ollie, I don't think that's right. Geez, yeah, you know what? You're right. Like if you have to be able to say what you feel,
Yeah.
right? If you
Yeah.
can't, this is the wrong culture to be in, right?
Absolutely.
An environment to be in, because feelings can get hurt easily,
Absolutely.
right? And if I'm out of line, I expect somebody to put me back in line.
Absolutely.
And if he does, I respect and I appreciate him even more. Whether it's a training staff person or whether it's the assistant coach or the head coach or the G.
I'm a driver, so hey, you know.
Hey, yeah, that's a long shot, but yeah, you're right. That type of environment.
Yeah, you just have those honest conversations.
That's right.
And I think is you're if your eyes are all consistent. You're not lying. You're saying if you guys are consistent across the board, and they're hearing that from every person,
Yep.
it's like, oh wow, this is a integrous or
integrity.
integrity.
Huge.
Yeah, they're not going to be bullcrap. You know?
No, in this game sometimes that lacks. I mean, I hate to say it. I love the game, but I told our GM there's only 2 people I ever trusted in hockey, and he was one of them. But and for me, that's a big thing. Like over the 45 years or 50 years that I've been in the game, it's you can't trust everybody, and not everybody has that integrity. And just because you're winning doesn't mean you have integrity.
No,
right? But we've tried to do it the right way, and it took, like I said, took us a while, and we're here now, and we appreciate it. We're proud of what we've kind of accomplished, and we just hope it keeps going.
Well, and last, that's the thing. So how many teams have we seen? And again, NHL. I'm using NHL in this case. Won the President's Trophy out the first round, or missed the playoffs, or not necessarily out of the first round, or it's not sustainable. Right?
That's right.
And that's
and that's a good point. I mean, junior hockey is cyclical, and you're up, you're down. You have good years, you have bad years.
Well, you could lose 10
in a heartbeat.
Yeah, right.
And I know, back in my first few years with the Sioux, and even going all the way back to Plymouth, we never had down years. You try to build that program where every year you're a player or 2 away. Like you may not get them. You may not finish first, but you're always in the hunt. Or you never last. You're never at the bottom or trying to scramble to get back to the top again. You're always kind of lurking there, and that's I think our GM and coaching staff have done a great job over the past few years. We're always there. We're building that consistency, right? Day in and day out. So
again, like that's the goal. Is that hey, this lasts next year and the year after, and I mean, ideally perpetual. Working for the champion.
Yeah, actually, just before I come out for the interview here, it's just we were talking and I said at the beginning of the year to some of our staff, I said, I'm just as excited about next year. Not looking too far ahead, but I, as a scout, I have to look towards next year. I said, I am excited about our players next year as well as this year. And I think we're going to be, as a group, better. Will we be better? I don't know. But, we're going to start the year probably better than what we were this year.
So again, you're stair stepping. And that's the goal. Is continue to build a pipeline that's going to.
Exactly. And we had a lot of room to grow, no question, right? Now that growth is going to tighten up a little bit.
Sure. More draft picks out and everything.
Well, and you look at this year, like I said, not everybody made the team as a 16-year-old, which is what you want, right? Because some of them aren't ready to play. They're going to be great players down the road. They're just not ready to play against 20-years-olds right tomorrow. Give them time to develop. Get that confidence. Grow exactly 20 pounds, really? Whatever, right? Exactly. So. I'm happy, and everybody's proud of where we are today to be able to do that and to be able to put a product on the ice that people are proud of. The local fan base is excited to see every night.
I mean, they're the one buying tickets, so you gotta give them a show, right?
That's right. So. That's right. Support the team.
Yeah, exactly. You're just selling hope for winning, and again, the nice thing is you're doing both. Again, you have a team you're excited about next year.
Yes,
and you can talk about that. You have a team this year again. Working hard, and you're putting the right pieces in place, and you're gonna be fighting for spots. So.
I mean, again, you're gonna have the luck on your side. You're gonna have to get the bounces, and karma, and all the all those voodoo things that everybody, especially in hockey, superstition is huge, right? So I mean, in touch wood, we hope for a long run for sure.
And make sure that cardio you did in September is now going to show up now.
Right? That's right.
Summer look,
absolutely. It's stuff that we stressed all summer long, like get in the gym. We want to make hockey players, right? So you may not want to go do squats after a practice like today, but You got to get in the gym
Yeah, absolutely.
because the work you put in today is going to help in playoff time. Exactly. Yep. I know. It's awesome.